64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy.
Hello, and happy day. How does slowing down sound to you today? Would you like to reduce the noise for just a bit? Are you ready to make a choice and decide to listen? My name is Igor SF Walker. I am here to remind people to slow down, to reduce the noise, to walk their lives into a natural flow. Welcome back to the Book of the Week series. Every week, as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. And today we look at The Ultimate Guide to Red Light Therapy. How to use red and near-infrared light therapy for anti-aging, fat loss, muscle gain, performance, and brain optimization by Ari Whitten. In this video, we discover the incredible power of red and near-infrared light therapy and how it can help increase your energy, combat aging and make your skin healthier, reduce wrinkles, and help get rid of cellulite, speed up fat loss, improve muscle recovery and athletic performance, improve mood and cognitive function, speed up healing from injury, and improve metabolism and hormonal health. Stick around till the end. I will share with you some tools I haven't used that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you, what innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management. If there were a pill that was proven to have powerful anti-aging effects on our skin, combat neurological disease, fight depression and anxiety, increase fat loss, speed up recovery from exercise, increase strength and endurance, combat certain autoimmune conditions, fight hair loss, and speed up healing from injury, all with little to no side effects, it would be a billion-dollar blockbuster drug. Hundreds of millions of people would be told to start taking it by their doctors every day. And the doctors all over the world would call it a miracle drug. Now here's the crazy part. That drug exists. But it is not a pill. It is red and near-infrared light. Red and near-infrared light are part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and more specifically, part of the spectrum of light emitted by the sun and firelight. These wavelengths of light are bioactive in humans. That means that these types of light literally affect the function of our cells. Only a tiny part of this spectrum, from roughly 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers, is actually visible to the human eye. At the highest end of the visible light spectrum is red light, which goes from a little over 600 to approximately 700 nanometers. Above the visible light spectrum is near infrared, from about 700 to a little over 1100 nm. In this red and near infrared wavelengths specifically are these amazing effects on our bodies. Interestingly, even within that range, not all the red and near infrared wavelength seems to be created equal specifically. Most research is showing benefits of red and near infrared light in these wavelengths in the narrow ranges, 630 to 680, and 800 to 880 nanometers. Red and near-infrared NIR light therapy devices have been FDA approved for several purposes so far, including anti-aging, hair loss reversal, acne treatment, pain relief, slow to heal wounds, fat loss, among other purposes. Now, this is worth noting because it proves the abundance of research showing benefits. The therapy has to be proven safe and effective in numerous trials to gain FDA approval. Until recently, it was thought that you needed an expensive laser device to obtain these benefits. This technology has been in use in doctors' offices for many years now, and it goes by the name of either low-level laser therapy, LLLT, or cold laser. These red NIR laser devices often cost $5,000 to $30,000. This is precisely why this technology hasn't gone mainstream and why most people still haven't heard of it, because most people are under the impression that you can only get red and near-infrared light therapy from these incredibly expensive laser devices. Now, red and NIR LED panels are also being used in anti-aging clinics, where people are being charged $75 to $300 per single session to use these lights. This is one of the other barriers. Most people believe not only that these lights cost many thousands of dollars, but also that they can only use them by paying hundreds of dollars for a single treatment in a fancy clinic. LLLT, or PBM, photo biomodulation, is more than an alternative kind of medical treatment. It is a whole new method of controlling cellular processes and modulating living organisms by precise alterations in the chemistry of biomolecules. Moreover, it is possible, in a possible way, to stimulate or inhibit many different biological processes that occur in most, if not all, different living creatures. Just as a human cell needs nutrients from food, light is also a necessary nutrient for our cells to function well. Certain wavelengths of light can help power up our cells, affect hormones and neurotransmitters, balance our mood, enhance physical performance, hasten recovery from stress, increase alertness, improve sleep, and positively affect the expression of our genes. Most importantly, you need to grasp that the human body needs light to be healthy. These are the 5 types of bioactive light in humans. Blue light. It sets the circadian rhythm in our brain, which in turn regulates numerous different neurotransmitters and hormones. UV light allows us to synthesize vitamin D from the sun. Far infrared acts to heat up our cells. This is the part of the sun's spectrum that you actually feel as heat. It stimulates changes in cell function as well as circulation changes. Red light acts on the mitochondria in our cells to stimulate increased cellular energy, ATP, production, among other mechanisms. And near-infrared NIR acts on the same pathways as red light, particularly in the mitochondria in our cells, to stimulate increased cellular energy ATP production. The most common light-related health problems that most people are already familiar with are vitamin D deficiency from too little UV light and circadian rhythm disruption from too little blue light in the morning and too much artificial light at night. Just these two light-related health issues alone are responsible for a massive burden of disease in the modern world. These two issues caused by inadequate and improper light exposure are linked with dozens of types of cancer, as well as heart disease, obesity, diabetes, neurodegenerative disease, and multiple other conditions. Just as our body requires the intake of certain vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, and so on, from the diet to function normally, our cells also require certain light nutrients, adequate amounts of certain wavelengths of light to be healthy. In short, the human body needs red and near-infrared light to function optimally. To understand the detailed mechanisms of how red and near-infrared light actually enhance mitochondria, you need a basic understanding of how our cells produce energy. We produce ATP by going through a cycle of something called cellular respiration, what gives us energy to do anything. It gives our body energy to chew, to breathe, sweat, produce hormones, everything. Cellular respiration has actually 4 steps. Glycolysis, the first step in cell respiration, which is the conversion of glucose, sugar, to pyruvate. Next, pyruvate oxidation, the next step in converting glucose to ATP, which entails converting pyruvate to acetyl-CoA to enable ATP to be manufactured. Next step, Krebs cycle. This uses acetyl-CoA to generate a pool of chemical energy substances, ATP, NADH, and FADH2. And finally, oxidative phosphorylation, the last step in ATP production, where the mitochondria use the chemicals produced in the Krebs cycle to pump out ATP. This last stage, oxidative phosphorylation, is the place where the red and near-infrared light does most of its magic. In short, it's much the same way that exercise builds your muscles stronger by temporarily stressing them. Light does the same thing to our internal antioxidant and anti-inflammatory defense systems. It helps make your cells more tolerant to stress, combat inflammation, helps prevent the buildup of free radicals, and ultimately makes your cells healthier, more energetic, and more resilient. It turns out that the humans actually need some of these low-level stressors in their life. The absence of these stressors actually sabotages our health. Light serves a transient low-level stress to your cells. The end result of these cellular adaptations to the temporary stress is healthier cells that produce more energy, have a stronger antioxidant and anti-inflammatory defense system, and are more resilient to overall stress. The health of every organ and every cell in the body depends on the energy being produced by the mitochondria in those cells. Thus, because red and near-infrared light therapy work to enhance mitochondrial energy production in essentially every type of cell in the body. It can enhance the cellular process and cellular health of potentially almost every type of cell in the body. Once you understand the pathways through which red and NIR light works its magic on the human body, it actually makes good sense that red and near-infrared light would benefit chronic fatigue conditions and increase energy levels. It turns out that red and NIR light affects both blood circulation to the area it is shined on, as well as stimulating the release of fatty acids from fat tissue. Overall, the device needs to emit light above a certain power density, light intensity. It needs to be at the right wavelengths, be at proper distance away from your body, and ideally needs to be physically large enough to emit light over a large portion of your body. Arndt Schultz's law, which states that weak stimuli slightly increases metabolic activity. Stronger stimuli increases it even more until a peak is reached. And from there, increasing the dose further suppresses the effect until a negative, harmful effect is eventually reached. Later, this concept became known as hormesis. The term biphasic dose response is also used. Simply put, it suggests that if insufficient energy is applied, there will be no response because the minimum threshold has not been met. And if more energy is applied, then a threshold is crossed and biostimulation is achieved. However, when too much energy is applied, then the stimulation disappears and is replaced by bioinhibition. The details to be aware of are optimizing power density for the tissue you are treating by adjusting your distance from the light, getting the dose right, and your body position. Based on the bulk of research, you want 630 to 680 nanometers, the optimal healing spectrum of red light, or 800 to 880 nm, the optimal healing spectrum of near-infrared light, or a combination of both. Wavelengths of 600 to 700 and 780 to 1070 have been proven to have the most significant impact upon cytochrome C in the mitochondria. And thus, these are the wavelengths that will produce the most stunning results for anti-aging, arthritis, fat loss, reduced weight circumference, regrowing hair for individuals with hair loss, joint repair, bone repair, cancer recovery and prevention, cognitive enhancement, and brain health. The therapeutic range is only within those specific wavelengths. Power density is also important because your cells need to receive a certain intensity of the red light to benefit. Remember to know power density. You simply need to know the wattage of the light and the treatment area. Having a high power light that is also large enough in size allows you to treat large areas of your body at once in just a few minutes. You can treat an area like the face, the whole torso, or legs, or even do multiple parts of the body, and effectively the entire body in just a few minutes. After you do get one of these lights, you can immediately start using it to increase your energy, make your skin healthier, and get rid of cellulite. speed up fat loss, improve muscle recovery and performance, improve mood and cognitive function, increase muscle size and strength, speed up healing from injury, and improve metabolic and hormonal health. You now know everything you need to know to start using this powerful technology. Now, go start using it and taking your health, body, and energy to new heights. And there you have it, the ultimate guide to the red light therapy. Please do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share it too and spread the word. Do leave a comment and share your thoughts. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. And the link to this book is in the description below. So you buy it and you read and you never stop learning, especially learning about yourself and nature. So gift yourself by taking the free human needs test on my website. Find out what actually motivates you, what innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. And if you feel you are ready to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management even further, then do check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links are in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.